the new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to boof up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need cool up right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now.
Look at you go. Okay, you got it. Look. Go. Go! Look at you go! Okay, you bubbling. Look,
yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and irate, and we act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Have a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma stand up. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you wanna stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte back, liquor clean. Dead presents in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a pantyhose.
Over here, empty your pockets. I don't do that. You're my principal. You do what I tell you to. Get over here. He's gonna get nasty.
stay out of this.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. Could you? I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Ball for me. Ball for me, yeah. Ball for me. Ball for me, yeah. I'm on the road, I'm getting paid like what you want, baby. You a bougie, baby, but I love you, baby. Give you the world, baby. Pay $5 grand for a handbag like Saint Laurent, baby. We love that money, baby. 100,000 plus 100,000 my whip. 30,000 plus 30,000 my wrist. We got those bad, that's. I swear, baby, it was just kissing us. How could I forget that you done for me? Baby, gonna take the charge and take the fall from me. Would love to take you shopping, but I'm in your toys. Sorry, little mama, I can give you more. Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. Could you? I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Ball for me.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Here we go.
Watch twist. Watch twist. Motion.
Here we go. 47, 47.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's coming now.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
26, 26.
third and short yardage. Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 34 yards there and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses. Those exact type of runs.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. Bust through the tackle. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Prescott from the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Wentz now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. A give to Elliott. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 13 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll run it here. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the... So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Into the red zone. Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. The give is to Elliott, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 3rd and long for Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Taking it about the 16. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Working from the gun, Wentz. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, after the success they had on the second play of the drive, I think they were trying to recreate it with that pass, weren't they?
Yeah, they were trying to go a little tic-tac-toe, 3 plays and in the end zone.
I like that. Can I just put the X in the middle to block as the defense just did there?
Sure. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Hey, ram.
They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Elliott. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Go to 54, go to 54. Why?
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Hearns brings it in. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now Wentz. Dancing to his left. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Porky, 82 Porky.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Under.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Prescott looks to throw on first. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Switch and 8.
Final play of the half, Prescott. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And while that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently, but that doesn't necessarily mean you just go to the pass and do nothing else.
Throwing is Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go, go to 54, go to 54, wide 80. Here we go, wide 80. Get out. Here we go, going to 53.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. On third down, it's Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Taken in at the 11. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Eagles on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Wentz to throw. Open man is Miller. He's got it. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Now Wentz. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he gets it down to the 32. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here we go, 47.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Woo. Ball shot. Here we go, 46. 26. 26.
Prescott from the gun on third. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this ball is going to be touched out just shy of midfield. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Now Wentz throwing on second down. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Here we go. 120. Run.
Wentz now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56. Elliott now to kick this one away. And here's Lewis. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Here we go. Wide, ain't it? It's coming now. Here we go. Get that. Let's go. Get out. Get out. There we go. Going to 53.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On play action, Prescott. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Here we go, count. Here we go, 46. 26.
They'll run now with Ware. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. Being chased out left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Get out. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Rasul Douglas there to get him down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott from the gun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Done. 26.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he fends him up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And down he goes just beyond the 35. But that pretty move got him some extra space to run. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Don't go. Wait.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run on first down. Adams. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. On 2nd down now, Adams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Again, here's Adams. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. A first down throw for Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd down, Prescott. It's caught right side, it turns. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
46.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Prescott now on 2nd down. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. The Cowboys on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Done. Here we go, 46. 26.
One last shot now for Prescott. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hey, 47. 26.
On the run, it's Ware. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Philadelphia, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out.